Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome. My name is Gillian Walters, and I'm the Head of Business Operations at Community Alcohol Partnerships. It's a privilege to be standing here before you for the third year running as your host. I'd like to start today with a few housekeeping matters. We're not expecting any fire alarms today, so if you do hear a fire alarm, it is the real thing, and there are fire wardens who will come and help everybody come out of that door there. There's both a photographer and videographer present today, so if you do not wish to be included in photos or videos, please let yourself known to a member of staff. Today we come together to celebrate both of the launch of CAP's new annual report, and most importantly, you, our award winners and nominees. This year's report is titled Growing with Purpose, Delivering for Communities. Looking around this room, our biggest audience to date, it's clear that those words really reflect who we are becoming. We're growing. Growing as an organisation, growing in CAP numbers, growing in reach, and delivering. Delivering for young people and delivering across communities across the UK. Progress like this doesn't happen in isolation. It happens because of partnership, because of belief, and people who are willing to invest in change. Whether you're here today as a nominee, a winner, or a guest, your presence makes this occasion even more special. We're incredibly grateful for the support that makes both our work and today's celebration possible. With that said, it's my great pleasure to invite to the stage our sponsoring MP for Caerphilly, Chris Evans. Please join me in giving him a warm welcome.
Thank you so much, and thanks for coming along to this little conservatory for this little award ceremony today. I'd like to welcome you all to the House of Commons for coming to the Community Alcohol Partnership Awards 2026. This is a fantastic event, and what makes it most fantastic, it's about you, and it's about the work that you do in your communities. Most of you know that CAP exists to reduce alcohol harm in local communities from drinking by young people under the age of 25. CAP wants to see a society where an alcohol-free childhood is the best and healthiest childhood. And for those of us who were children of alcoholics, I can think of no higher ideal than to ensure no child is exposed to the damage that alcohol does bring about. This ideal is possible and is evident through the amazing work that CAP has already been doing. I can see that in my own constituency. As many of you know, the three main pillars of CAP's action plans are alcohol education, provision of positive activities, and responsible retail strategies. These pillars are central to all the work that you do. Now, in my own constituency, there are two CAPs, which are led by Jamie Burgess, the Early Intervention and Prevention Coordinator with Caerphilly County Borough Council. And if anyone learns more about what she's doing, she's on page 22 of the Growing with Purpose, Delivering for Communities, so if you want to look at that. The Caerphilly CAP has worked to educate young people about underage drinking and help them make better decisions about issues such as alcohol, drugs, and antisocial behaviour. A particular highlight was when a successful funding application enabled the team to transform the CCTV van into a travelling Christmas grotto. This was innovative and highly visible and toured communities in Caerphilly, engaging with hundreds of young people and parents. While visiting the grotto, families were able to speak with staff about community safety, alcohol awareness, and wider well-being messages in an informal and approachable setting. This is the type of thing the UK needs, and I am so pleased that CAP is effectively reaching communities that we are celebrating today. We also look forward to CAP's future projects, such as Parental Supply Project, which is expected to launch late April, early May. Look out for local events of this in your constituencies. So, even though we're here to celebrate everybody, I hope you all have a lovely afternoon in wonderful surroundings, and we celebrate those who have worked so hard for an incredibly important cause. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Chris, for a wonderful opening. I'll now be passing over to CAP's Chairman, Derek Lewis.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this wonderful event. And thank you, Chris, for hosting it for us and for your inspiring words for us. And thank you for making available this very special place for a very special occasion. And if you had any hand in arranging the weather, thank you for that as well. We're very blessed with that. We have a record number of people here today, as you've just heard, and that is testament to the momentum behind the CAP movement as it now is. As always, the main purpose today is to celebrate the extraordinary achievements of people in community alcohol partnerships across the country. As you will hear, they are having an amazing positive impact, and as you will also see from the annual report. The title of that report this year conveys the essence of CAP: growing with purpose and delivering for communities. Our purpose is very simple: preventing harm to children from alcohol consumption and creating responsible attitudes that will serve them well in their later adult life. CAP is now achieving the scale and growth to achieve positive change at a national level. Last year was a record with 55 new CAPs launching, taking the total to over 350. That's a great start to achieving the target of 300 additional CAPs that we announced this time last year. And we have many more, as you'll hear, in the pipeline. But CAP is not just about helping the young people we deal with directly. It's also about communities. By engaging with young people, CAPs not only help those young people to build the right relationships with alcohol, but CAPs also create positive interest in their lives while reducing antisocial behaviour, reducing litter, and other consequences of underage drinking, all of which contributes to building better and healthier communities. So these are exciting times for CAP, not only because of our expanding impact, but also because we are on the cusp of launching pilots of a new programme to help parents understand better the harm alcohol can do to their children and how they can help avoid those harms. This marks the end of a long period of painstaking research and programme development, of which you'll hear more shortly, but it represents a major milestone for the CAP organisation. So this is a huge team effort, and I'd like to pay tribute to several groups. First, to the national CAP team led by Kate Winstanley. It's bigger now to cope with the faster growth and the expanded brief, but it's still quite small and punches well above its weight. And a particular welcome to new members who have joined the team as we have expanded it to cope with the growth, whether they be at the centre or one of our regional advisors out in the field. Second, a thank you to all the local CAP teams, the coordinators and members who find time alongside their day jobs to make their CAPs work. You'll hear more of this when we get to the awards, but the people you will see and hear about today are only the tip of a much larger iceberg of people who do this work across the country. Third, I'd like to thank our funders who have stepped up to the plate with increased funding to support this faster growth and our work with parents, despite what is a tough economic climate for anyone in the industry. So thank you, funders. And fourth, our board, who have provided consistent support, advice and encouragement to the team and the organisation. We have welcomed new members to an expanded board designed to match our growing ambitions. But we've also had to say goodbye to one member, James Lohman, who I'm delighted to say is here today and has just stepped down as Chief Executive of the Association of Convenience Stores after nearly 20 years in the role, of which 12 he has spent as a CAP director and has provided us with invaluable support. So thank you, James, and we wish you all the best for the future. Fifth, and finally, thank you to all our wider network of supporters, members of Parliament, some of whom are represented here today, plus an appreciative letter, I should say, from the Prime Minister's office, police forces, schools, youth services, local authorities, retailers, and many more in the communities who all contribute to what we are able to do and achieve. This time last year, we were just embarking on the most exciting era in the life of community alcohol partnerships. This year, as you will hear, we are well underway. So thank you again for being here. Enjoy the event, enjoy the weather and the view. And with that, I will hand over to Kate Winstanley.
Thank you very much, Derek, and thank you, Chris, for hosting the event. It's wonderful to see so many people gathered here to celebrate the amazing work of CAP. I've never seen so many people at a CAP event. I mean, people are queuing into the corridor, so it's just wonderful. As Gillian and Derek have mentioned, the title of our report that you have today is Upbeat and Confident and reflects our current tempo and direction. We've entered a period of rapid expansion, and there's a real sense of purpose in what we are collectively doing and seeking to achieve. We are using a tried and tested model with a great track record of success and impact. We're on a path to deliver support to all areas of the UK where underage drinking is above the UK average. And as Derek has mentioned, we're also on the cusp of delivering a groundbreaking campaign designed to deter parental supply of alcohol to children. Ours is not a top-down approach. We exist to empower local communities to work collaboratively and with a much-needed injection of funding. And thank you to all our generous funders, many of whom are here in the room, that is designed to protect our young people from alcohol harm, helping them to achieve brighter futures, and in the process, building safer and more resilient communities. We did launch a record-breaking number of new CAPs last year, bringing to 360 the total of CAPs that we have launched. And all of our new CAPs are situated in areas with above average rates of underage drinking. So we're growing particularly fast in Scotland, thanks to an injection of funding from the Scotch Whisky Association and its members, the north of England and also the southwest. And our pipeline is really exciting. We currently have over 150 areas who would like our help to set up a CAP, which is something we've never seen before. But this hasn't happened by accident. We have expanded our team of regional advisors and now have 8 regional advisors working very hard to support and set up CAPs in those regions. Reputation and word of mouth are also a factor. And increasingly, we are getting approached by those who've heard of the positive experience of CAP and would like our help to set up a CAP in their areas. We're really confident that CAPs work. The model provides a very effective solution to reducing underage drinking, and we've invested heavily in our evaluation methodology. So we're very confident that we have a robust evaluation framework, and all CAPs are required to use that to measure before and after impact by way of a series of surveys and data linked to measures of underage drinking. And from before and after surveys of secondary school pupils, and we now have a data set that comprises over 50,000 students, so a very sizable data set. We've seen a 63% reduction in those reporting weekly or more frequent drinking. And that's a really sizable shift, especially when you consider that the background is very little change. And from police crime data and also our resident surveys, we noted an average 44% reduction in antisocial behaviour, and residents seeing or perceiving that young people drinking is a problem in their community. And that has very significant impact on the sort of communities feeling safer. We continue to see excellent improvements in compliance with Challenge 25. So we saw a 98% compliance after a CAP had been set up with Challenge 25 tests. And that improvement is often, the baseline can be as low as 38%. So it's a very, very significant improvement in compliance. And the only area where we are lagging behind is in reductions in parental supply. And I'll come on and deal with that in a minute. So our surveys noted a relatively small reduction here, 14% reduction, which really confirms to us the need for better tools to educate parents on the importance of not providing alcohol for their children. So I mentioned earlier that CAP does not follow a top-down approach. We are there to enable and support the communities that we serve. That's why our organisational structure is the way that it is. We have a relatively small central team that, as Derek has mentioned, are incredibly effective. They punch way above their weight, but we're a much bigger team of 8 regional advisors who are rooted in the regions and communities that they serve. And our team of regional advisors typically reflect the stakeholders who are represented within a CAP partnership. So they have police, trading standards, education, and third sector backgrounds, and are incredibly committed and talented. But they're enabling our CAP communities to work collaboratively and effectively to tackle entrenched social issues from a position of understanding where they're at. And you can read, they've all contributed to our annual report, and I'd like to thank them for their incredible contribution to CAP. A key factor in CAP's success, though, is the willingness of local partners to put in the time and effort to be part of a CAP when they're often very stretched in their day-to-day jobs. So a huge thank you goes out to the enthusiasm and the commitment of a large number of exceptional individuals who lead and participate in CAPs, many of whom are in the room today. Without you, our model simply wouldn't work. And I spoke earlier about our strategy of offering support to areas with above average harms, as measured, for example, by alcohol-specific hospital admissions for under 18s. And many of these areas are often have high levels of social deprivation. So in effect, we are helping to achieve a levelling up effect, working with and for communities that might feel left behind. And I want to also sort of go to the heart of what CAPs are about, and that's children themselves, children and young people. So often our CAPs are working with small groups of children who are vulnerable, and they are sometimes causing disproportionate harm to themselves and their community. CAP is particularly good at identifying those children and supporting them through the youth outreach projects that we offer that are designed to support them away from a pathway that will harm themselves and might lead to even more serious criminal or antisocial behaviour. But some of that work also identifies children who have the potential to positively influence their peers. And we always work in consultation with children and young people. And by giving all young people agency and a voice, we can ensure a good fit with the reality of their lives and support them to reach their full potential. So we are really doing much more than just reducing alcohol harm, important though that is. We are helping to achieve opportunities that will benefit young people throughout their lives and also sort of benefiting their communities as we do so. I'm now going to talk a little bit more about parental supply and why this matters. So quite simply, parents are the way that most children, including relatively young children, aged 11 to 15, access alcohol. And as you can see from the slide that's up there at the moment, more than 6 in 10 children aged 11 to 15 who drink regularly are given alcohol by their parents. So it's much more common for them to access it in this way than via getting it from their friends or from adults, or direct purchase. So CMO guidance on drinking before the age of 18 was first introduced in 2012. And that guidance highlights the important role of parents in ensuring that children are not given alcohol early, and also their role as sort of setting boundaries and also being role models themselves. But there's been a notable absence of any form of communication of this guidance, and our CAPs lack evidence-based materials aimed at parents. And that is why we have led the way in highlighting the importance of this issue as a driver of underage drinking, and we've published several pieces of research, the most significant of which was a major review by behavioural psychologist Dr. Anna Salas, which we published last year, and which is a fascinating and very in-depth look at sort of the motivations, the complexity of this issue. And one of the things that Dr. Salas did was a review of campaigns and interventions worldwide, trying to tease out what factors might work. And we've taken that, we've published the research, and we are now delighted to be moving on to an action phase, which is developing with our chosen partners, Livity, a behaviour change campaign designed to reduce parental supply of alcohol to children and young people. And this is not only a groundbreaking piece of campaign work, but also has potential to be a game changer in reducing underage drinking, not just across CAPs, but nationally as well. We're going to be piloting the campaign in 7 locations in the UK, 4 in England, 2 in Scotland, 1 in Wales. And it now gives me great pleasure to hand over to Alex from Livity, who can tell you a little bit more about that campaign. So over to you. Thank you.
Hi everyone. It's a pleasure to be here today, and I'm sure you all want to get on with the awards. So I will just give you a kind of top line introduction as to what we've been up to over the last few months, and then Taryn and I are both here as well. So if you had any kind of interest or feedback, we'd kind of love to hear that following this. I will do a short introduction just so everybody knows. So I am Alex. I'm the Chief Exec of Livity, and we are a specialist communications agency working directly with young people and parents. We believe, and I think it's wonderful to see lots of young people here as well today. Every single thing that we make when it comes to behaviour change is co-created with the audience that serves, with young people, with adults, with trusted adults, with parents and educators as well. So for us, being able to work together to co-create the communications campaign that we'll be launching, as I say, within the next kind of couple of months is absolutely critical here. I'm just going to give you a short background just to give you some kind of context to what it is that we are working on, as I say. So working with Kate and Derek and the team, our role is to develop an evidence-based campaign and a set of materials designed to educate and persuade parents of the benefits of an alcohol-free childhood. The 3 strategic objectives of this are about aiming, critically to Kate's point, to reduce parental supply of alcohol to teens. And within that, to the point of it being a pilot, a kind of campaign concept, which is scalable and adaptable to lots of different scenarios as CAP continues to grow and thrive. And as to Kate's point, there are 7 pilot areas that we will be launching this in imminently. As I say, so the following section, as I say, what we haven't yet got is a kind of campaign to launch, or they'll have a sneak preview here, but it is everything that we do here is very evidence-based. We've obviously had the Salas report to review. We also conduct all of our own insight sessions, and we've had, thank you to anybody from the regional advisors perspective who's given us so much of their time and feedback as well. And lastly, we have done a quantitative study, a 1,000-person study, nationally representative of parents aged 9 to 15 to be able to pull on to ensure that what we're creating not only engages but genuinely drives behaviour. There's a lot in these slides. I will top line them very quickly. So the first kind of big insight for us is making sure that we intervene before those attitudes are set. So actually the focus of the campaign will be working with parents and targeting parents of children aged 9 to 13 before those behaviours are potentially elicited. And that's a really, really important point, especially as there are lots of other conversations that are happening at that transitional stage. The second one is about parental influence and how central that is. Obviously, they are, we are talking about reduction in parental supply, but they are also obviously clearly one of the most critical protective forces. So actually, that kind of knowing and understanding of that contract together between young people and parents is critical. As I say, I think there is also something, and again, we need to recognise exactly what this campaign's objectives to do is, but also recognising that home drinking kind of sets the tone there. So making sure that we are really, this campaign is very much focused on the interaction between parents and teens and not placing judgment in other areas. So from the survey that, as I say, we've just kind of had the results back not very long ago, only a couple of weeks ago now. Actually, from here, just over half of parents, 52.8% of them, reported that they would not allow their children to drink alcohol before the ages of 18. A third of parents reported that they would allow alcohol, and 12% said they were kind of still undecided in that. So again, some of these statistics will be used for social norming as well, which is kind of really critical to actually more and more parents and fewer and fewer young people are drinking, and more parents are playing a more critical role there. So that social norming piece is key. And then one of the things that we've looked at here is one of the things that we have a really strong campaign, but actually we need to understand those reasons why. Why should a parent do this? Because actually, for lots of parents, and again, this will not be new news to kind of anybody here, but it's like, actually, this isn't a conversation that they think that they need to have as readily as they do, perhaps as they would with smartphones, for example, which very much feels like the topic of the day. So actually, one of the things that we looked at here is, what are some of the reasons that parents currently are allowing their children to drink? Obviously, we know this, they want to teach their children to drink responsibly, they prefer it at home, and they genuinely, often most parents you speak to think they're still doing the right thing by allowing that. And so it's a very fine line that we don't want to place judgment in that space. They think that what they're doing is safest for their child. They want to be good parents, but alcohol is not necessarily front of mind. And there's lots of room for improvement overall, how and where it comes to those parent-child discussions and rule setting as well. And as I say, parents know that this has to be a two-way street. And so whatever we're doing has to engage parents, but with an opportunity that engages young people as well. And so one of the things that we did was look at what we kind of call these reasons to believe. And actually what the campaign will be centred around, yes, the message to not supply your children with alcohol, but the ... and why. And so these are the reports, as I say, we can happily sort of share this wider, but these are the reasons to believe that came out most strongly in the quantitative survey. So even small amounts of alcohol can affect a teenager's memory, concentration and reaction times. Teens who binge drink show up 10% less growth in key brain regions. Children and young people are at increased risk of alcohol poisoning, and regular drinking can cause long-term damage. And hormonal changes make their children more likely to take risks, etc. So it's about blending all of these different things, because there is no one single reason why different parents do. So as you will start to see when the campaign launches, you'll see more of these messages becoming very, very clear within the work. So all of those have provided a really rich evidence base to develop a campaign. So as I said, in summary of that, we will be looking at targeting parents in that kind of pre-behaviour stage as those behaviours are being established, leveraging the opportunity where parental influence is strongest. We will be meeting parents where they are. This is about being respectful. It's about being non-judgmental in a tone that fits, because parents are thinking that this is currently something they're doing to care for their child. And also critically, it hasn't been on the agenda for a long time with parents. So this is about reintroducing this as a parenting priority. It's about encouraging a shift from assumed roles to proactive, open conversations and regular conversations as well, because it's not just, we all know this, it's not just a kind of one and done conversation. It's about equipping parents to empower teens to have agency in choosing an alcohol-free path in their own right, and youth-facing tools to help parents land that message. As I say, it's about kind of thinking about how are we supporting parents and how are we adding to their parental toolkit in the most useful way possible. And it's also about leveraging the most motivating aspects for a campaign. As you'll see, we've already talked about the pilot areas. Here they are in terms of the 7 areas. And as I say, the ambition is that we will conduct research and measurement and evaluation afterwards to inform, ideally, what kind of then scales up to be through more caps and potentially national as well. So as I say, after lots and lots of different work, there is not a kind of campaign video to show you that will be ready, but actually we've done lots of work on what that kind of core campaign is. There's a visual at the moment. It will be in CAP colours. It will be all of this, but hopefully you'll start to kind of bring it to life. So the campaign itself will be called Stay Clear Together for an Alcohol-Free Childhood. And the point about kind of, there's lots of different ways that we can use the kind of point about staying clear on your boundaries, staying clear-headed, and there's a kind of a huge amount that kind of sits behind that. But one of the feedback as well that's been really important is that we make sure that this is not just a campaign about risky behaviours or conversations. So stay clear together for an alcohol-free childhood is the really kind of critical point within that, because it's not just a one-parent solution, it is also a whole community approach. There will be lots of different things that are kind of created as a result of, as a result of this. There'll be lots of kind of photography bringing kind of real families to life. There will also be moving image and lots of other kind of things for us, a website. There will be a microsite, there will be schools resources, and there'll be lots of ways that we can share assets across sort of social media and across our partners as well, which I'll just come on to talk a little bit more about. But we're really excited to be able to show this imminently. So where will this show up? Obviously, everyone in this room will be critical to supporting the delivery of that and sharing it far and wide. We do also have some media budget, so that will be specifically focused around meta advertising in terms of the most effective way to reach the parents that we're talking to. There will also be a schools-based resources, as we talked about briefly, PR activity for launch, retailer partnerships, and any retailers in the room, thank you so much for your support in advance already. So we've had really exciting conversations about access in retail environments, which is really critical, obviously, at purchase point, from kind of actually areas where alcohol is being served to in-store radio and ever. So that gives us an opportunity to really scale this as well. And there will be a campaign microsite. And again, looking at radio and various other kind of things as well. So hopefully really a great opportunity for this to be very visible at community level. And lastly, as I say, one of the things that's really important and to the point of everything that CAP does is the evidence base that sits behind this. So we will be conducting a two-part evaluation post the campaign period. One of them looking at the specific metrics about the campaign effectiveness, as that might be familiar to people, but also a 1,000-person parent study designed pre and post to be able to understand kind of their measurement, their awareness of the campaign, the comprehension and the intention and the reduction in intent to supply alcohol to their children themselves. So that's a whistle-stop tour, as I say. I know there's lots to get on with now. So thank you so much again for everyone in the room that's kind of fed in already, and look forward to sharing more very soon. Thank you.
Thank you so much, firstly, to Kate for the introduction to our new annual report. I think the statistics are compelling this year, and the case studies of CAPS in action, in my own opinion, are very moving. Thank you also to Alex for your introduction to the incredibly important parental supply campaign, which seeks to tackle one of the primary unresolved pathways to underage drinking. Thank you. Each year since I've joined CAP, and more recently hosted this event, I've stood here and have spoken about our ambition, our hope for growth, our hope for change, and making a national impact. And now we are here delivering. With that in mind, I'm absolutely delighted today to showcase an example of our partners in action, bringing to life the incredible work made possible through our positive activity funding. Ripon Grammar School are a perfect example of the talent, resilience and positive contribution that young people are making across our CAPs in the UK. In a world that can sometimes feel uncertain or overwhelming, they remind us of something powerful. With the right support, guidance and opportunity, young people can face the challenges around alcohol head on. Welcome to the stage, Ripon Grammar.
Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you so much for inviting us to join you today at your wonderful event. I shall introduce you to our team who are modelling some of our designs today. So we have Caroline Hare, our Pastoral and Welfare Officer, Margarita Romanuk, who is Year 12, studying A-levels and aspiring to gain a place to study dentistry. Jessica, who's year 8, who is aspiring to be an agricultural scientist, wearing her Tears Help You Grow t-shirt. And Isla, who's in year 9, who aspires to work with law and is wearing a win-win mindset t-shirt. And myself, my name's Elizabeth Goddard, and I'm a teacher of design technology at Ripon Grammar School, and I'm wearing a design by one of the students called Get Fluttery Feelings. So today, I'll just turn that off. Thank you, Lars. Excellent band. Liverpudlian, might add. Okay, so today we're delighted to be invited here to share the work that we've been doing at Ripon Grammar School as part of our 0% Less is More fashion project for CAP 2025-26. So this project has provided us with the opportunity to learn about marketing and campaign fashion, to be creative as a team, and to renew our commitment to promoting a safe and healthy and informed youth community. We hope you like the work that we have achieved on the project so far. So over to Caroline.
At Ripon Grammar School, we take our responsibility to educate and safeguard students incredibly seriously. Through our PSHE curriculum from years 8 to 10, we cover vital topics surrounding drugs, alcohol, well-being, risk awareness, personal safety, and the wider impact of decision-making on health and future opportunities. In years 11 and throughout our sixth form provision, we continue to provide students with opportunities to learn and be aware of substance abuse. We invite inter-school guest speakers to help further inform the students from a medical professional capacity, and have interactive form time, personal tutorials and wellbeing coaches for the pupils to access throughout these student years. Our Deputy Head and Designated Safeguarding Lead, Mrs. Keelan Edwards, states, "We are deeply committed to ensuring students understand the risks associated with alcohol, particularly underage drinking. At RGS, we aim to equip young people with accurate information and trusted adults they can talk to so they can make safe and informed choices." Our pastoral team also plays a crucial role, providing a sensitive and individualised approach. CAP have introduced us to organisations such as the Talk About Trust and North Yorkshire Rise to help support students and create a safe space where students can ask honest questions without judgment. Our goal is always to help students feel supported, informed and confident. That said, we're also aware of the need for us to be proactive and to stay informed of the pressures and demands that our students can experience. So the CAP Fashion Project has opened up a wider conversation and enabled students to enjoy a creative subject outside the curriculum.
To better inform our project and for purposes of research within our school community only, we carried out an anonymous alcohol awareness survey. 157 students from years 8 and 9 took part, helping us to notice early signs. Our chart are used to completing service and ICT lessons, and we have found out previous findings are reliable and trusted. The service was delivered online and drop-down choices were available for all but one question. It was only 7 questions long. We have found that 55% feel that they have good awareness of the dangers of alcohol following an active PSHE curriculum in school. 83% say that they have not experienced peer pressure to drink alcohol. However, 7% say they have tried alcohol numerous times. 24% say that they have tried it a few times. There was much debate about what this meant: a sip, a try, a bottle, a beer or a glass. Finally, 10% of pupils said that they are aware of drinking culture and persistent expectation to drink before 18. 1% said that they have feel a very persistent and strong expectation to drink alcohol at certain times. Some did share personal experiences and highlighted to us why education is this area in Wilton is vital and can help to inform students of the law and of healthy lifestyle choices. Yes, when I'm out in town, my friends always say, "Do you want to try some alcohol?" Or when I'm with my family friends and the young adults are drinking, but I try to say what is the healthiest option. Sometimes it can be very difficult to make the right choices for us. Further to the survey, our creative project, myself and my friend Ellie, also year 12, are scheduled to deliver alcohol awareness assemblies to years 9, 10 and 11 over the summer term. We'll be focusing upon key CAP messages and hoping to interact with the students to help them better understand the effects and dangers of alcohol upon young bodies and minds and help them be more aware of social pressures.
Here we are. So, the Ripon Grammar School Fashion Club has been running since Easter 2025, and it offers textile and fashion project opportunities to all year groups. In October 26, we're producing a fashion show that hopes to raise money for our local hospice. And most of our fashion has been upcycled from charity shop clothing that was selected by the charity shop for rag collection. So we decided to apply for the Community Alcohol Partnership Innovation Fund for our fashion club because we felt that it would make a perfect opportunity to help bring youth health awareness to life through creative design, and that it perfectly supported our work with the local hospice. The streetwear designed and inspired by pop art, street art and graphic design is a perfect accompaniment to our fashion show, whilst also promoting a zero alcohol lifestyle amongst our youth community. Students were asked to draw creative inspiration for their designs from artists including Basquiat, Kusama, Warhol, Hockney, Haring and Blake, amongst others. Their designs combine colour, pattern, symbolism and meaningful messages to encourage strength, hope, well-being and resilience in the face of their personal struggles. Many of these artists have actually battled mental health issues, addiction and prejudice. Some unfortunately lost their lives to this. Such is the complexity of substance abuse that can pervade all levels of society and has been culturally accepted and encouraged as a normative experience for centuries. It was also important for our designs to reflect our core school values, respect, growth and support. As a school, both students and staff try to reflect upon our work ethic, social decisions, life choices and ambitions, and over the years this has helped us to build a strong and valued school community. So we are incredibly proud of all of the work that our students achieve to, aspire to and have produced so far, and we hope that you like it too.
When we first began to look at our CAP designs, we considered how it would fit into our already existing fashion projects. The CAP fund enabled us to purchase print equipment, paints and inks, and so we started to work on textile techniques. On the right-hand side of the slide, you can see examples of development work using a mix of materials, printed images and graphics. This helped us to begin working on loose ideas. Further research into artists and campaigning clothing also helped us to see how designs could be arranged and printed. And we used collages to help express our ideas and create the designs. In this design, Lizzie, aged 13, created bright, colourful work using an iPad design program. She hopes that it expresses joy, positivity, and the idea of nurturing your best self through an alcohol-free lifestyle.
We also worked on our collective branding of the streetwear. Sarah, Year 8, worked up the 0% Less is More logo. That in the context of zero alcohol lifestyle, that anything can be positive, that any dream is possible, that it's possible to be what you want to be. We all felt this was a versatile brand design that supports a range of styling ideas and would be a great collection logo. Evelyn, aged 13, created a design inspired by nature to help people feel strong and hopeful.
There's a lot going on in a teenager's brain. Feeling of worries, confusion, and anxiety are also very common. So when it comes to alcohol, it's not surprising that making the right decision is hard. Peer pressure and feeling judged if you don't drink is part of this problem. With this design on the board, it's showing that no matter how difficult your life is feeling right now, there's always the calming effect of nature, and you can find colour and positivity in even the most difficult situations.
I focused on the mental and physical health, promoting a non-alcoholic lifestyle as a pathway to strength and growth.
And then the next design emphasises the role sport plays in improving mental and physical health. Alcohol can have a negative effect on performance, which may make young people avoid alcohol altogether, especially if they are playing the sport competitively. Sport can keep you inspired and give you a positive mindset. This is reflected in the design and win-win mindset slogan. The colour orange pops out from the black and white textures, showing the importance of the logo 0% less is more.
So further to our current designs, we hope to develop them more with more techniques, created images and printing, and that has been enabled to us through the CAP Innovation Fund. So we've been able to buy equipment and inks, as Isla said, and paints. We also hope to try and connect more of our work across our school community by creating fashions that our running club can wear, by involving it further with other outside ventures too, such as D&V. So finally, on behalf of everybody at Ripon Grammar School Fashion Club, we would like to give you a huge thank you to CAP for giving us the opportunity to design, express ourselves and use our creativity to make a positive impact. We would also like to echo the words of our Deputy Head, Miss Helen Keelan-Edwards, who said that we are very proud to be involved of the Community Alcohol Partnership programme, because working together only further strengthens our ability to raise awareness and support our young people. Thank you very much.
A sincere and heartfelt thank you to Ripon Grammar School for joining us today. We're incredibly grateful not only for your presence, but the courage to come up here and show your creativity and the excellent work happening in your school. It really demonstrates the importance, I think, of peer-to-peer support as well. So thank you so much. It's my honour to now turn our focus to the heart of today's event. You, our CAPs. Our award winners today exemplify the meaning of growing with purpose and delivering for communities. Time and time again, CAPs demonstrate what's possible when we come together as a team, united by our shared commitment to reducing alcohol-related harm. Your passion, hard work and collaboration have made all the difference. And here today, we celebrate your extraordinary contributions. When our judging panel came together to choose our winners, across the board, the quality of nominations made it an impossibly hard task to pick winners. This highlights the commitment and the work of our CAPs across the country, that now selecting our winners is harder than ever. First of all, I'd like to announce the CAP of the Year England Joint Award. Please can I invite to the stage Julie Minns, MP for Carlisle, to present the first award.
Thank you very much. In 2025, the winner of the Joint Award for the CAP of the Year for England agreed to embrace Workington and South Cumberland into the CAP, all under the leadership of Emma Thompson. Not that Emma Thompson, a different Emma Thompson. It encompasses 46 electoral wards and brought the CAP under one Cumbria-wide partnership. The CAP has reached more than 2,500 young people across Cumberland, helping to tackle underage drinking And 2,700 more young people have completed the CAP Young Persons Survey, which has enabled a wealth of intelligence on how to get the right message across to children and young people. Their no ideas are off the table approach has seen them getting involved with the Whitehaven Wellbeing Festival last year, working with sports clubs such as Carlisle United FC and Workington Town FC, and launching the Sparks programme, an educational package created by young people and local sporting role models. It will include videos and interviews from local sporting role models responding to questions from an amazing group of young people aged 11 to 16 around alcohol-related harm. What impressed the judging panel was the evidence that this CAP's partners truly care about the well-being of their young people. Members go the extra mile by volunteering and spreading word about the amazing work the CAP is delivering. I am delighted to present the joint award for CAP of the Year for England to the Cumberland CAP, and I ask Emma Thompson and the local partners to come up and collect their award. Okay, you're the important bit. You need to be up here for sure. There's a lot of you. It's probably better. Great. A lot of hard work.
Thank you so much, Julie, and a huge congratulations again, Cumberland. I would now like to invite CEO of the WSTA and CAP board member, Miles Beale, to the stage to present the second CAP of the Year England Award.
Thank you, Gillian. Just in case people didn't have, this is a joint award, so this is the other CAP of the Year for England award, which is presented to Staveley CAP. I'm delighted to present this joint award for CAP of the Year in England to Staveley. This CAP has demonstrated an exceptional approach to multi-agency partnership, taking into account schools, police, local authority teams, Chesterfield Football Club Community Trust, Blend Youth Service, public health advisors, and alcohol retailers. Preventing underage sales and improving retailer responsibility has been a key mission for this CAP, along with reducing proxy purchasing and community supply of alcohol to children and young people. A highlight of the partnership is the introduction of Operation Reboot, a targeted early intervention programme delivered in the Healthy Living Centre in Staveley. It also initiated the Her Mix initiative, developed in response to concerns around underage alcohol use amongst young girls, identified through community outreach and school-based work. In 2025, the CAP was already seeing weekly drinking levels of 13 to 16-year-old students in Netherthorpe School dropping from 31% to 0%, and weekly drinking levels of 13 to 16-year-olds in Springwell Community College dropping by 13% to just 7%. This is an incredible result. Many congratulations to Staveley CAP and all those involved, and can I call to the stage, please, Sean Morley from Chesterfield Borough Council and his team to collect the award. Why don't you come this side of me? There we go. Come over.
Many congratulations, Staveley. Before I move on, I must give special recognition to Deal and Preston Caps, who, although didn't make the final winner list, the panel wanted to highlight what an amazing job that you've done and how close you were. Our next award is Cap of the Year Scotland. Please can we ask Dr. Suma Ahmed, MP for Glasgow South West and Minister for Health, Innovation and Safety, to the stage to present the award.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. And can I start off with my Minister of Health hat on to thank you all for coming and congratulate you all for all you're doing every single day, because I can tell you from the Ministry of Health and as a practicing doctor, what you're doing is right at the forefront of the prevention agenda that we want to see in this country. And I know it's not easy, but I also know you are saving countless lives and you're improving the lives of countless many more. But now to my first job as the Member of Parliament for Glasgow South West. As Member of Parliament for Glasgow South West, I am delighted to say that the winner of this year's Cap of the Year Scotland Award goes to the CAP in Govan. Govan, for those of you who've had the pleasure of being there, and I have the pleasure of serving there not only as an MP but as a doctor, is one of those areas of Scotland and of Glasgow that tells two tales. It tells the tale of the modern place where shipbuilding began. It tells a tale of the birthplace of some real heroes of our country like Alex Ferguson. And depending on how far you want to draw the boundaries of Govan, and the guys will keep me right here, you could even include it being the home of one of the iconic football clubs of Scotland, Rangers Football Club. But you might keep me right about where I should draw that boundary when you come and get your award. But also, alongside that, there are many challenges in Govan, an area of high multiple social deprivation as defined by the SIMD index in Scotland. But the Glasgow Govan CAP was launched in February of last year, and since then it has built relationships but also a strong evidence base to understand the issues in the area when it comes to young people. They completed 271 surveys by children and young people alone from local schools and youth organisations, and 192 surveys completed by local residents. A youth engagement event was held at Govan High School and involved police, fire services, Govan Youth Information Project, and Glasgow Life, and the local, of course, Sunny G local radio station. It was a phenomenal success because it wasn't just instructive and educational, but it was also fun, with engaging activities, but also providing kids and young people with information on alcohol, on wider risky behaviours, on antisocial behaviour, but then also offering a way out through careers and volunteering opportunities, put in a less formal setting. Almost 200 children and young people attended it. I'm so looking forward to seeing how this CAP grows and the potential that it has for more joined up working by all partners in Govan. Already Glasgow Life is delivering training in schools and to Police Scotland youth volunteers. And in addition to the work of the CAP, I'm sure there's much more to come. It's simply a true partnership in action. And therefore it is my deep honour to ask the members of Govan CAP onto the stage, all of them, to collect their award. Straight here. Hello, boss. How are you? Good. Who's going to take responsibility? Come on, use your tool to be easier that way. One round of applause.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ahmed, for your kind words about CAP, and congratulations again, Govan CAP. Our final CAP of the year is for Wales, which I confess is set to test my pronunciation skills. Please can I invite to the stage Nick Smith, MP for Blaenau Gwent and Rumney, to come to the stage and present this award.
Hello everybody, and thank you for the invitation today. I'm delighted to present this award from CAPs across all of Wales to a CAP from my own constituency of Blaenau Gwent and Rumney. The Upper Rumney Valley CAP is the recipient of this award this year for delivering an exceptional series of creative, high-impact projects that have made a big difference across our place. These have strengthened community ties, promoted well-being, and provided positive opportunities for children, young people, and their families. Their Christmas movie night, the Little Cop Shop of Horrors event at Halloween, and their young driver sessions have all been brilliant. The CAP has been faced with the challenge of fewer resources and with fantastic support from Gwent Police. It is meeting these challenges head on with positively delivering results showing children and young people that there are other and better ways to lead their lives. Please come to the stage, the Upper Rumney Valley CAP, to collect your awards. How are you doing? All right. Hello. Where should we have our picture taken?
Whatever you want, Dad.
Well, I'll tell you what, you can come by here.
Yeah, because I'm short.
Because you're short. And we want you to look good. All right, so, who's going to hold the award?
Thank you again, Nick, and well done to Upper Rumney Cup. See, I told you, Upper Rumney CAP. CAP Pluses. These are the CAPs who have been established for some time and have already achieved remarkable success in reducing underage drinking. As the CAP advisor who set up and ran the winning CAP for some years, I'm really proud to see them go from strength to strength and still push forward, maintaining their efforts and dedication to this critical cause, despite me no longer being involved. I would like to welcome to the stage Polly Billington, MP for East Thanet, to present the award to CAP Plus of the Year.
So this year's winning CAP Plus exemplifies how a successful CAP Plus partnership really works. Since it was first established back in 2017, it has been solidly tackling underage drinking in its community, but more recently it has come to life even more so. As a coastal town, Broadstairs unfortunately suffered some negative press last summer as a result of young people causing issues in the town and the beach area. This is partially due to the young people being sold alcohol, bringing alcohol with them, or stealing the alcohol and being involved in antisocial behaviour. This is what kick-started the CAP partners in Broadstairs to reinvigorate its activities. The Broadstairs CAP refocused its partnership and action plan to deliver strong multi-agency action, including schools roadshows, youth activities, and decisive retailer enforcement. Licence suspensions have helped to tackle underage sales, helping to reduce summer antisocial behaviour, and it has strengthened prevention across Broadstairs and neighbouring CAP areas. One of the CAP's highlights in 2025 was hosting a pickleball tournament, and along with the school's roadshow, more than 500 students were reached. I am delighted to present this award for CAP Plus of the Year to Broadstairs CAP, and I ask representatives from the CAP to come up to the stage to collect their award. Come up here. Come on up. You have to come up here. I can't give it to you otherwise. Congratulations. Well done.
Thank you.
Well done, everyone. Right. So where do you want us? Shall I sit down here?
down one. Down one. Yeah. Makes me look taller. Yeah, that's good.
Thank you, Polly, and again, many congratulations, Broadstairs. Our next category. Educating people is a cornerstone of what CAPs do, and education goes far beyond the classroom, as we heard earlier, and as the winner of this category demonstrates. I'd like to welcome to the stage CAP board member and member of the judging panel, Leslie Lloyd, to present the award for excellence in education.
The Excellence in Education Award is an award recognising excellence in alcohol education, whether to young people, licensees, the community, or a combination of all. And this year's winner has really thought outside the box to promote and engage children and young people on alcohol education. The South East Edinburgh CAP is the winner of this award this year in recognition of its innovative partnership with Sky Studios Academy in Edinburgh, enabling secondary schools to create professionally produced television-style news and produce the videos focused on alcohol harm, youth drinking, and community impact. This opportunity gives young people the ability to not only learn about alcohol-related risks, but also to transform that learning into a creative digital product using industry-standard broadcast equipment. This youth-led digital storytelling has reached up to 1,300 pupils already and is building awareness, media skills, and career aspirations through creative education. It's a model of best practice for all CAPs. Please come to the stage, PC Amy Fowler and PC Alison Morton from Police Scotland and representing the CAP to receive your award.
Thank you, Leslie, and congratulations again, South East Edinburgh. With ASDA's continued support, CAP launched its second round of innovation funding in 2025, which again provided CAPs with enhanced funding for innovative projects, which has helped CAPs grow with purpose to support the health and well-being of children and young people. We're extremely grateful to ASDA for their sponsorship of this award, and I would like to pass the stage to James Barge.
Hi everyone, I'm delighted to present this year's Innovation Award on behalf of ASDA. For CAP, innovation is something that's defined as something new, something innovative, and something that could critically inspire other CAPs. CAP does proactively ask CAPs to think outside the box when drawing up their action plans, as we've heard so far this afternoon. To set the scene for this year's winner, in the area where this CAP works, in the period between March 2024 and March 2025, there were 288 reported incidents to police of either antisocial behaviour or antisocial behaviour related crimes by groups or individuals covering their faces to hide their identities. Obviously, for any of us, this is something that we'd find hugely intimidating, whether you're a resident, a business, or a visitor to the area. The solution that this CAP came up with was to introduce young people to natural highs, a concept designed to foster self-awareness, build resilience, and deeper connections with themselves and their communities. With a focus on outdoor activities, this included bushcraft sessions, circus skills lessons, and even firelighting lessons, where chats around the fire were held on the dangers of alcohol on young minds. To quote one young lad, age 14, he said, "Are all these activities free? Nothing is ever free for us. This is amazing." That statement in itself shows why it's so important to proactively reach out to children and young people and meet them at their level. As I said, on behalf of ASDA, I'm delighted to give this year's award for innovation to the Liskeard CAP. And can I ask you please to come up to the stage and collect your award? That's you. There you go. You want to see it? You come on this side.
Huge congratulations, Liskeard, and thank you again, James. Reaching 18 to 25s. This award highlights work in our CAPs aimed at the older half of the next generation, 18 to 25s. I would like to welcome to the stage Steve Race, MP for Exeter, to present the next award.
Great afternoon, everyone. It's great to see such a fantastic crowd here today. As the first CAP in the Southwest focused on the 18 to 25 age group, the Exeter CAP recognised early that this age group faces distinct risks and pressures and requires a different approach, and created an approach with local needs embedded at the heart of it. This CAP partnership is underpinned by excellent multi-agency commitment. It includes Devon and Cornwall Police, education partners, the local authorities, the Business Improvement District, retailers, and evening and nighttime economy staff are all actively involved in it. It's a defining strength of Exeter CAP is its rigorous consultation with 18 to 24-year-olds, where young adults are asked directly what matters to them and what would make a difference. Their views have shaped the CAP's priorities, planning and delivery, and from this consultation, safety emerged as a clear priority, particularly feelings of safety in the evening and nighttime economy, and the CAP responded with practical, visible action. This has included the introduction of additional taxi marshals, planned delivery of anti-spiking training for security staff, and a commitment to excellence through work towards Exeter's Purple Flag accreditation status, which I'm also delighted to say was awarded to Exeter last month in February. I'm also really grateful for the positive relationship I have with these two people. I want to take this opportunity to thank them for the fact that they add enormously to the life and success of our city. So, congratulations to Nicola Wheeler, CEO of In Exeter, and Nathan Johnson from Devon and Cornwall Police. Please come and collect your award. There you go. Great. Where are we standing? Should we stand here? Yeah.
Thank you so much, Steve, and congratulations again, Exeter. We will now be turning to the CAP Spotlight Award. This category was introduced last year because of the quality of nominations received, and the panel decided that we needed it again this year, as it was impossible to ignore the dedication, commitment and impact that this new coordinator has made to CAPs across the county of Kent. I welcome to the stage CAP board member Lisa Watch to present the CAP Spotlight Award.
Thank you. So, as you just heard, the quality this year of nominees was so good that I think it's kind of cheating, but we had to have another Spotlight Award for a second year in a row. The spirit was to recognise CAPs and CAP coordinators who've hit the ground running while being new to CAP. Your work has very much been seen. And I'm delighted to recognise Andy Blair from Kent Trading Standards for this year's award. Andy's only been a CAP coordinator for a year for Kent. When he took on responsibility for CAP,
As the newly appointed Youth Harm Reduction Officer, the provision in Kent was struggling. Engagement from partners was minimal, and the project lacked momentum. In the space of just a year, Andy's turned this around and has safeguarded thousands of young people across Kent. This includes 15 CAP areas active across Kent, 9 towns visited and 142 premises engaged, 1,200 pupils directly engaged through school-based sessions, social media reach with over 8,500 impressions across CAP campaigns, Scout talks delivered to 11 to 17-year-olds focusing on alcohol risks, and 18 public engagement events, including Park Life and Freshers Fairs. More importantly, Andy was the brains behind the pickleball competition that was mentioned earlier. For a new CAP coordinator, this has been a tremendous start. Please come and collect your award, Andy.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. And again, many, many congratulations, Andy. The next award falls under the banner of outstanding contribution by an individual. But this was the one category that the panel truly struggled with this year. And in the end, they found it simply couldn't be limited to just one winner. The quality of nominations was exceptional. They renew faith in individuals, communities, and organisations, and demonstrate that it is the people within our CAPs who make CAPs what they are. Because it was so difficult to select just one recipient, although we have winners, the panel also wanted to recognise everybody in this category as they're all outstanding. I would now like to welcome Hardeesh Purewell from our judging panel to the stage to present our special recognition awards.
Hi, I cannot underestimate the task that me and Leslie had in kind of going through and looking at our winners. So this was really difficult to do. So in the category of outstanding contribution by an individual was so brutally hard that there was no one person that was better than the other. So we really wanted to recognise those that were nominated and to say thank you for everything that you do in delivering the CAPs across the country. So we'd like to recognise Suzanne Preston from Corby, Rob Hempsall from Spalding, Clive Johnson from Edinburgh, and Claire Brooks from our Midlothian CAP, and Corinne Mason from our Wyre CAP. So could I ask you to come up on the stage?
Very much. Any quick stage?
That was a lot of choreography, wasn't it? Congratulations, everybody. And now to our main joint winners of the Outstanding Contribution by an Individual Award. As I mentioned, choosing just one was impossible this year. I would like to invite back to stage our sponsoring MP, Chris Evans, to present the first of these awards.
It gives me great pleasure to award the first award for outstanding contribution by an individual to Jamie Burgess from Caerphilly County Borough Council for her work across Central Caerphilly, Caerphilly South, the Lower Rumney Valley and Upper Rumney Valley CAPs. Jamie, as we've heard before in my opening remarks, is the Early Intervention and Prevention Coordinator with the Borough Council and has shown exceptional leadership and innovation in establishing and expanding the CAP across the county borough. She has successfully launched the CAP in 4 areas across the borough, ensuring robust collaboration between partners and schools to deliver impactful early intervention and prevention initiatives. She's been a tireless advocate for tackling underage drinking. What's been more impressive is the degree of innovation and imagination in delivering activities for children and young people. The Little Cop Shop of Horrors, the Young Drivers Initiative, Surveillance Santa, the High Rocks Project, Community Christmas Movie Night, to name but a few of the events Jamie has organised to raise awareness of the harms of underage drinking. Jamie is so deserving this award. She's given her heart and soul to CAP, and I'm delighted to present it to her. Congratulations, Jamie, and please come up again to collect your award.
A heartfelt well done to you there, Jamie. I would now like to welcome Scott Green, the Acting Chief Constable for West Midlands Police and the National Police Chief Council Lead on Alcohol Harm. We're grateful for your ongoing support to CAP. Scott is going to present the second of our outstanding contribution by an individual awards day.
Thank you, Gillian. Good afternoon, everybody. It gives me great pleasure to present the second half of the CAP Award for Outstanding Contribution by an Individual to PC Chris McKee from Lancashire Police. Chris has been described not just as a CAP partner, but a CAP ambassador. His work with CAP stretches across Burnley, Rossendale, Blackburn with Darwen, and Hyndburn, the equivalent of 13 CAPs. He has been an incredible asset to each CAP partnership, consistently bringing innovative ideas to the table and being the catalyst in bringing them to life, empowering partners to collaborate. One of his key attributes is in problem solving and prevention. He's currently leading on the scaling up of a successful CAP innovation and CAP award-winning project from last year, using creative content from alcohol education outcomes with young people to develop content for virtual reality headsets. This project will reach hundreds of vulnerable young people across Lancashire, with Chris's leadership being central to this in convening partners, schools and experts across Lancashire. This is just a sample of the work and dedication he has given to CAP across Lancashire. Many congratulations to PC Chris McKee.
Well done, Chris, and thank you again, Scott. I think you'll agree with me, the awards this year have just been absolutely outstanding, each an individual story. So, last but by all means not least, I'd like to introduce our final award of the day, the Chairman's Award. This award recognises somebody truly special, an individual who has gone above and beyond to make a genuine difference within their community. It's always a highlight of this event, but this year it carries particular significance. This year, it's especially heartfelt. The recipient of this award is a remarkable young person who has taken alcohol education into his own hands, and not because he had to, because he chose to. He's approached it in a way that speaks directly to his peers, on their terms and in their language, and in doing so has created something powerful and authentic. I would like to welcome to the stage Chairman of CAP, CAP, Derek Lewis, to present this award. Sorry.
As Gillian said, the main criterion for judging the Chair's Award looks at an individual's contribution to a CAP or to CAP itself that has really stood out over the last year. For those of you who were here last year, or not in this building, we were across the road then, the CAP Awards, you may remember that we had a special performance from a young gentleman from the Lewisham CAP, who used creativity through music, creating music and producing music to deliver alcohol education programs. Since then, the same person has thrived and has become an advocate, speaking to his own peers on the dangers of alcohol in their lives. His work was originally nominated in the Excellence for Education category, but he stood out so much to the judging panel that he was their selection for the recipient of the Chair's Award this year. Therefore, I'm very proud to present our Chair's Award for 2026 to Louis Chalk. But first, I'd like to read out some words from Anna Lumley, who leads our Lewisham CAP. Louis has been attending the Young Lewisham Project for 18 months. It has been a pleasure to watch him grow over this time and become the confident, bright, talented young man he is today. The CAP project has played a big part in this, giving him the opportunity to develop his skills, build his confidence, and share his message of positivity, particularly around staying safe and reducing alcohol and drug use to other young people. It gives me enormous pleasure to present the Chair's Award to Louis Chalk.
Thank you, Derek, and a massive congratulations to yourself, Louis, and to each and every one of our CAP Award winners and people that have come here today. Louis, before you sit down, we're not quite finished with you yet. The audience deserves to see what makes you our Chairman's Award winner for 2026. Over to you, Louis.
Music, can you have that for moments?
Got a story to tell, so let me tell it. A mum asked her son for his phone, let me check it. Son said no, he came through swaying. Mum said come here, your breath, let me smell it. Smell the green ganja, mixed with the vodka. I know you smell the green, but I hope you don't sell it. Her son didn't answer, he felt a bit embarrassed. He ran up to his room without answering the question. Trying to cure the boredom, mistake for depression. He drank away the pain anytime he had stresses. Dad weren't around, a piece of him missing. He always got angry when he felt that oppression. Alcohol became his everyday, trying to find his thing that can take away his pain. He used to kick ball and he can't be asked to train. School didn't know why he's messing up his grades. Alcohol became his everyday. He used to kick ball, now he can't be asked to train. School didn't know why he's messing up his grade. He had a close friend, similar situation. She used to be innocent, now she's out raving, drinking, smoking, clout chasing. She posts on the gram cause she wanted to be famous. Deeper and deeper in the drink she's sinking. Came home drunk as a skunk, breath stinking. Mom just stood there, what are you thinking? She can't face it, eyes start leaking. Now she on the floor, tweaking. She can't take it, screaming, help me Jesus. So much pain in her heart, like internal bleeding. And she feel dizzy like she's seasick. Overcome by the life she's living. Now she's just alcohol driven. And she wanna be a mom one day, but now she don't know if she can be that woman. Alcohol became her everyday, trying to find a thing that can take away her pain. She used to like reading and going to ballet. School didn't know why she's messing up her grades. Alcohol became her everyday, trying to find a thing that can take away her pain. She used to like reading and going to ballet. School didn't know why she's messing up her grades. you very much.
What an absolute inspiration. Thank you so much, Louis. You've truly given me shivers. Thank you. I'd like to close the event today by welcoming all of our guests to join us for afternoon tea. I look forward to hearing even more incredible examples of CAP work over the next year. Thank you, everybody.